friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Morgan, and welcome to Feel Good Plans with Morgan. And welcome to a new week of our movie lettering challenge for 2021. And we are going to keep on trucking with When Harry Met Sally, phrases and words. And to get us started for Monday the 18th, today's word is attractive. And if you remember from the movie, Jess and Harry had a lot of different conversations, but one of them was when Harry was trying to hook him up initially with Sally, and they had the conversation about what type of girl she is, and a girl is either attractive or she has a good personality, and if she's one or the other, that means she doesn't possess the other quality, which of course we all know is goofy. But let's go ahead and get started. So attractive. So with attractive, we are going to make a little O. I just realized I have the wrong pen. Hold on one second. Sorry about that. I realized that I grabbed my soft tip Tombow Fude pen, but I like to operate pretty much exclusively with my, let me see if I can, well, normally it's on here. Anyway, this is the hard tip one that I use, and I was using the soft tip, and while I can use it, I prefer not to. But I had started an O for the A, and let's finish that off. Thick downstroke. All right, I don't think we've done a lot of V's. So for a V, I'm gonna do a thick downstroke, thin up. I'm gonna stop at that midline, and I'm gonna loop it around. And since the next letter is an I, we don't need to loop, or we don't need to extend that down very far. We can just take it back up to the midline. And thick downstroke. Last week we did those E's. So I'm gonna stop at about halfway. Begin my E, thick downstroke, which covers up that kind of awkward connection point. And let's just cross those T's. If you want, you can cross them individually. You can do one line for both. I think I'm just gonna keep it simple today. There you have it, attractive. I'm gonna go ahead and finish this section. Okay, there you have it. That is attractive. That brings us to our bonus row. And for the bonus row, I think we are going to go ahead and practice capital letters. So for a capital A, you have a lot of choices here. You could do basically just a larger version of a lowercase a, or you could do something that's maybe a little bit more like a print A, but you know, with a little bit more of a flourish. Let's see, what are we gonna go with today? I think we are gonna go with just a larger version of the lowercase a. So it's basically just a really large O and downstroke that. I'm going to change up my R. Wow, I made that way too big. That is why we practice, right? This word is I'm finding it's a really good word to practice your strokes. There's not a lot of fancy looping or anything like that that's happening in here. So, you know, with those T's, just thin up, thick down, thin up, thick down. There's just a lot of repetitive action in this word. And feel free, if you find a word that you really like that helps you practice those strokes, feel free, pull out another sheet of paper and write it out 100 times. Do it while you're watching TV. And it's just really, really awesome practice. All right, I'm gonna do attractive one more time here. All right, that wraps it up for attractive, and stay tuned for Tuesday's word. Welcome back, friends. Welcome to Tuesday the 19th, and today's word is actually a phrase, and we are going to continue what we talked about with Monday's word. So Monday was attractive, and in keeping with When Harry Met Sally, then that means that today's phrase is good personality. Of course, we know, especially us planner babes, we can have it both, but in Jess and Harry's world, apparently you can't. So let's start writing good personality. All right, so for those G's, we are doing more O strokes. And today I have switched to my green Tombow Fude pen. Hopefully it's gonna show up okay on camera. We shall see. Good. All right, connect that with another O. And then we've got the D, so I'm gonna just draw another O and just connect that downstroke with where I left off on the O. And so with the D's, I like to do mine with a bit of a loop on the top. So I'm gonna start that loop on the very edge of that O, downstroke that down, and bring it back up. There you have good. And so for personality, with lowercase p's, you have an option to do a thick downstroke and loop it back up before you begin the rounded part of your P. I find I'm just not a huge fan of that. I have a hard time getting it to look the way I'd like. So I'm just gonna do a simple downstroke for the P, pick up the pen, loop it back around, and there you go. Got a pretty clean P there. And for the E, there, I'm gonna go ahead and do my loopy R. All right, with L's, it is gonna work a bit like that D, where in my upstroke, I am now going to pick up my pen and I'm going to begin the loop for the L, thick downstroke to cross over where I started. There you go. Personnel, thick downstroke for the I, taller thick downstroke for the T, and we'll end it with the Y. There you have it. That is good personality, and I'm gonna go ahead and finish this section up. Okay, that is good personality. It went a little bit faster than I thought it would. I just don't think I have enough room to repeat it on the second or third rows here to really do it justice. So I think we're just gonna go ahead and jump straight to our bonus row. And for the bonus row, let's go ahead and practice uppercase letters again. And kind of like I did for attractive for Monday, I think what we're gonna do is just do larger versions of the G and the P for capital letters. And let's just go ahead and jump right in it, okay? All right, so for the G, we are gonna do an O just like we do for the lowercase, but we're just gonna start it and end it at different points. And I'm gonna do my O. And you'll see I brought it below the midline, but I did not touch it to the very bottom line. It's kind of up to you. If you want to do that, you can, but I'm not going to today. Okay, so then we can just go ahead and connect it with that thick downstroke, and we've got a capital G. Do our O's. Okay, and for the P, we're gonna keep it very similar, just a nice thick downstroke. And then, so don't forget with your capital letters, you can make the choice not to connect those to the next lowercase letter that you do. And in the case of this P, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I did a little loop here at the bottom to just give it a little bit of flair, but I'm gonna stop it right there and just go ahead and go into my E. A. Nice thick downstroke for the T. Kind of like with the last word attractive, this is a really good word as well to practice those thick and thin downstrokes. Okay, so I really don't think we have enough room here to finish and do another round of good personality. So we'll keep Tuesday fairly simple. And that's basically it. And stay tuned for Wednesday. All right, welcome back. Happy Wednesday. Happy Inauguration Day. And let's jump in. And the word for the 20th is Jess. You know Jess, Harry's best guy friend, kooky Jess. There's so much I could say, but let's just jump right in and start lettering. All right, so I'm gonna do 2 styles of J's. We'll switch it up for our bonus row because there's a lot you can do here. This J is gonna be a little bit more flourished, for the lack of a better word. I'm gonna start at my midline. I'm gonna dip below it just a little bit with just a hint of a thick downstroke. Gonna loop that back around, thick downstroke. There you have your J and the E. There you have it. There is Jess, and I'm gonna go ahead and continue to finish this section in this style. All right, friends, that is Jess. And I don't know if you noticed throughout this section, I actually kind of attempted a couple of different styles. I did one here where I intentionally did not connect it and on this when I went through and did the downstroke, and I did intentionally connect it here. One thing I was kind of struggling with mentally was that no matter how hard I tried, these just started looking like G's, especially this one right here. So I'm actually really happy that we're at the bonus row because I'm going to show you a different style. This uppercase J that I'm going to do is very, very simplistic, but I hope you're going to like it. It's really kind of just going to mimic a lowercase j, really, but we're just going to make it a lot bigger. So for this different uppercase J, I'm going to do a thick downstroke. I'm going to loop it around. Literally, that's it. So loop it around, go into the E. There you go. That's another style of Jess. Now, if you want to avoid, if you're worried at all that this is going to start looking like an I or something like that, you can totally cross that over if you want. I think to finish the row, I'm not going to, but just something else to play with in case you are really wanting to experiment with different styles. So I'm going to speed this last little bit up. All right, that is Jess with actually probably like 3 or 4 different styles of J's. But yeah, just again, if you're not happy with your style, it's okay to experiment. That's why we're practicing. We're trying to find our style, trying to find our lettering zen. But yeah, that wraps it up for Wednesday the 20th, and hold on just a sec for Thursday the 21st. Okay, welcome back and happy Thursday. I have flipped back to my green Tombow Fude pen, and I just have to tell you before I start, today's phrase, this is probably one of the #1 reasons that I picked this movie to do for our January theme. And today's phrase is baby fish mouth. Excuse me. So baby fish mouth is the scene where the big group of friends, they're playing Pictionary, and Sally is trying to illustrate baby talk. So she's drawing the baby, she's drawing a mouth, and she's trying to get everyone to say it. Nobody's saying it. And of course, Jess, our good buddy Jess, he seems to think that she is trying to illustrate baby fish mouth. Whatever the heck that is, nobody will ever know. But what it is today's phrase. So let's go ahead and get it lettered. Since we are lettering 3 words, I think this one's probably going to be pretty simple, just like with good personality, in that we're probably only going to be able to fit 1 per row. But let's get going. So for a lowercase b, I'm going to loop this around a little bit, at least initially. It's going to maybe look like a bit of a lowercase l. I'm going to go just a little bit above this midline, create a pretty big loop, and then there you go. Nice lowercase b. Do an O stroke for the A. Okay, so we've got another B. Now we're not necessarily going to be able to start our stroke in the same place that we did with our first B, but we can get pretty close. So I'm going to there you go. Baby. Okay, so for a good lowercase f, we're going to give it just a little bit of a tail. loop it up just a little bit past that midline. Now, it's up to you when doing a lowercase f if you want to make the bottom half of the F as equally as big as the top, or you can do it like I did, and we'll do a little stroke out so that we can connect the I. Okay, the lowercase h's, those will work actually quite a bit like the B's in that we're going to bring it up, make a little loop, straight line down, baby fish, thin up, thick down, U is a great way to practice your strokes. Thick down for that T. The H, again, will bring that stroke up close to the midline. Pick up the pen, make a nice loop. All right, it's a little bit long, but there you have it. It's baby fish mouth. I'm going to go ahead and do this 2 more times. All right, there you have it, baby fish mouth. It just makes me laugh even just talking about it. All right, so for the bonus row, let's go ahead and do some more practice with our smaller print. And if you're new to my channel, I do like to use the bonus row sometimes for smaller print, because if you would like to do some lettering in your planners, I can tell you most of the time your rows aren't going to be this big. There's just not that much space. So if you have the rows, number one, you can get more practice in if you want, but you get that added bonus of practicing the small writing so that you can use it in real life with your planners. So yeah, let's go ahead and do some practice writing small. It's a little bit more challenging because you don't have those guidelines, but we will do our best. All right. I'm actually going to see if I can fit more onto this row since we're writing smaller. And it's this Tombow Fude pen that makes this writing smaller a lot easier than with some other brush pens. If you had the larger Tombow like dual tip brush pen, or there's some with like people like Arteza, all sorts of other brands, and it's just not that possible to write that small. You can, but it's not gonna look the way you'd like it. All right, that word mouth got a little bit big, but that gives you the idea. And look, we have enough room to put one more on. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, that's it for baby fish mouth, and that is it for the first half of this week. Thank you for tuning in, and I hope if you like what you see that you'll like and subscribe, and let's connect on Instagram. I am at Feel Good Plans, and